Game 2, Western Conference Finals. Colorado takes it back home for Game 3 on Saturday. Will they go there down 2-0? 0-2 for them. Well, Detroit hopes so. Here we go. Underway. Face-off Sakic and Sergei Fedorov. So Steve Yzerman out there on the first line. Shanahan, Yzerman, and Fedorov playing together to start. Sakic, Hayduk, and Tanguay. The best offensive line in Game 1 for Colorado starts here, and that's going to be out the center, offside. Patrick Roy, 5 goals against him in Game 1.
He has this tendency, though, to bounce back after a loss, especially when he loses and gets 5 pumped by him, as this graphic indicates. But Patrick Roy has often said, some guys get paid to score, some guys get paid to check. I get paid to win games. Wants to win this game, too. Interesting starting lineup. Needless to say, the Detroit Red Wings skated lines in their warm-up. Nothing like what we're seeing so far. Steve Yzerman, you can expect on the wing.
A backhand shot deflected wide. And the chance in the middle, and Yzerman hurting. He took the shot, couldn't put any weight on that leg, limped back out the center. Does it matter? Well, it has to, but it sure hasn't affected his points. 5 goals, 8 assists. And Yzerman continues to just grind it out every game. Fedorov puts the hit on from behind. Came free to Shanahan. Shanahan will dump it off to Olsson on the wide side. Defensive-minded, both of the coaches in this game told their teams on the day off, there's got to be more defense. A much too wide open game. The only man who disagreed with that right there, Brett Hull. Brett Hull said that was pretty good, wasn't it?
I'm not even sure that he disagreed with it, but he did say that it was fun.
Which it is. Which it is if you're a scorer like Brett Hull. And sent in by Yuri Fisher. Hull tried to hold it in. Fisher stepped up, jammed it off into the corner. Played back by Adam Foote. Foote bounced, lost. Reinfeldt got it over to Peter Forsberg. And Forsberg will move it up through center. Forsberg to Chris Drury. Drury has not had a goal in the last 7 games. And Colorado needs him and Tanguay to get hot. And obviously, if they do, Forsberg then will be on the board since he's on that line. Cleared ahead by Chelios. Holmstrom took the hit, but got it in deep. Patrick Roy cleared it around the near side. Drury on the high flip. This gets it out to center where Chelios playing his 200th playoff game. Milestone for Chris Chelios.
Boy, Scotty Bowman really trying to get everybody into this game early. Detroit took a penalty early in Game 1, and they didn't get everybody in. They've already rolled 4 lines.
Into the middle, high note, looking for the rebound. Deflected off the far side as Chelios came over to cover on the chance by Rico Hall. Into the middle, Robitaille. That's going to be whistled on the offside.
Probably more changes to come for the Detroit Red Wings, at least in their line combos. This was Steve Yzerman's first shift. He went down, tripped over Joe Sakic's stick. See how hard it is for him to get up. Steve Yzerman always has to lean on his stick, almost as in a tripod fashion, to get back to his feet, because his right knee is so bad. Scotty
Bowman said after Game 1, we played him too long. We had hoped to get him in there about 15 minutes. We ended up playing him closer to 20. That's not what we wanted to do. Without Larionov, we're hurting in the middle. Tonight, they'll try and get him down somewhat closer to 15 if they can.
I'm not the only guy that thinks that Steve Yzerman's knee might be a little better tonight than it was in Game 1. After a week off and hardly doing anything, to me, it's like an old car engine that you're afraid to turn off for fear that it won't restart. And that's what happens to a knee joint when you lay off for a week. This might even be better for Steve once he gets it warmed up tonight.
We'll keep an eye on the ice time that he has tonight. Yell in behind the net. Duchesne over on him. Yell got it up to the point and out of there. Rolls the length of the ice, and Nysenko will be coming on the touch. The man who right now is red hot in net is not Patrick Roy. It is that man, Dominik Hasek.
And it might not matter what Colorado does, even if Patrick Roy and the Avs bring their A game. If Dominik Hasek is in his zone, he can stop everybody and everything. And he really is, to me, the one guy that didn't show any effects of the 7-day layoff. And it's a good thing, because in period 1 of Game 1, Colorado came at Detroit, and Dominik Hasek was able to make sure things stayed stable. So he, unlike all of his other teammates, showed no sign of a 7-day layoff.
Dominik Hasek is 5-0 at home. 5-0 in the last 5 games they played at home this playoff year, with the goals against of 1. Mercy. Off the face-off, it's Yzerman losing that draw. Back in behind the net, Tanguay cleared back. Duchesne into the middle. Kasparaitis on the intercept. Moved out by the Avs. Colorado 3-on-3 into the corner. Keane came back behind the net to try and help. Hit got on in a hurry by Dandino, though. Before the puck could be freed up, Yzerman right back out on the ice waiting for that loose puck. Yell had it along the wall. Yzerman trying to reach in from behind, couldn't get it. Keane moved over. Keane does get it. Penalty coming up. It's going to be on Detroit. An interference call.
Steve Duchesne actually dropped his stick at the offensive blue line. It just seemed to fall out of his hand. He scraped by Steve Yzerman and dropped his stick, ended up going all the way back down in deep and has taken the penalty with no stick in his hands.
First power play coming up. We'll check in with Brian England. Brian.
Gary, we're going to look for these Red Wings to come out with some really good jump in the first period, because although they won game one by a score of 5-3, it looked like Dominik Hasek was the only guy that was ready to go at the start of the game. These are some of the highlights from the first period. Colorado Avalanche was all over Detroit. The problem for Colorado was they didn't have any killer instinct. What we'll be watching early on here is, will they bear down in scoring chances like this early, or is Dominik Hasek going to come out on top again?
Tough to beat right now, but if they're going to beat him, it'll be right here. Forsberg, power play, center, score! They do! And Peter Forsberg is on the board early as he picks up the assist on the tip. And the Avalanche on the power play have a 1-0 lead.
Well, this is something Detroit didn't want to have happen early, and I'm not even talking about getting scored on. I'm talking about taking the penalty. Joe Sakic on the faceoff kicked it back, and you know what? Peter Forsberg was not even shooting. He was trying for the deflection here. Watch this. This will show you that if that doesn't get deflected, it goes 10 feet wide. Alex Tanguay with a perfect deflection, and Colorado opens up a lead. Remember, in game one, Colorado led 1-0 and 2-1. They are the top regular season defensive team out of 30 teams in the NHL, and they couldn't hold those leads in game one.
And the first goal goes to Tanguay, with Forsberg getting the assist and a 1-0 lead on the power play for the Avs. Both of these coaches not only stressed the defensive necessary in game two, but stay out of the penalty box. Both Scotty Bowman and Hartley know that these two teams have magnificent power plays, and you saw that one go to work in a hurry. Held in along the near side, kick set up. No call on it. Centering pass blocked. That was intended for Tanguay. Cleared back out. Would have been an odd man rush. Couldn't be reached, though, on the near side. Draper tried to get it, could not. That'll be a two-line pass and a whistle. So one of the people that, if you're going to get this team going, needs to score is Alex Tanguay on that line, and he does for Colorado.
And he only scored 13 goals during the regular season, and by his standards, that was not the kind of season that he wanted. That is goal number 5 in the playoffs. And it's not only the Alex Tanguays of the world. Bob Hartley knows, and he had guys huddled around him this morning. He had Brad Larson, Eric Messier, Mike Keane, the third and fourth line guys. And he was talking to them about providing offense as well. When Darren McCarty gets a hat trick, that's considered a third or fourth line guys. So it's not only the Alex Tanguays that got to produce for Colorado, it's everybody. And you know what? Same said for Detroit.
Ryan Prett tried to move it up, had it deflected away. The goal at 2:59. Tanguay's second of the series. Forsberg and Sakic pick up the assist. All right, Bud Light Stanley Cup summary. There's the overtime game winner. Toronto almost. They got back into it in the final seconds regulation, but Pauline able to pick up the go-ahead in Colorado. Went on to win the series the last 3 times they've fallen behind.
You didn't know the name Nicholas Pauline? You do now. Mr. Overtime for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Blake puts the big hit on the near side, and I mean a big hit, and a penalty coming off it. Boyd Devereaux got level, but Blake is going to be called.
Both refs had it too. Bill McCreary and Steve Walker both had this one, so
Colorado, minor penalty, interference.
when the jury is unanimous, not much doubt. Boyd Devereaux was the guy that paid the price along the wall. Not sure the puck was close enough to him for Rob Blake to be justified in hitting him, and that's exactly what it was. We lose sight of the puck from where we're sitting, but you can tell on that replay. Oh, geez. Boyd Devereaux didn't feel that, or didn't think that was going to come at all. That was Kurt Mulvey giving a little back rub, little love, little TLC there from Devereaux.
4-minute mark, first power play for Detroit. They've had at least one power play goal in 10 of the 12 playoff games this season. The Detroit Red Wings get the power play chance. Lidstrom shot wide. Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov, Holmstrom, Shanahan up front on the power play. Yzerman is playing back along the blue line, and with those bad legs, Colorado will try and rush one short-handed if they get the opportunity here. Back it comes near side. 1 for 2 in game 1. The Detroit Red Wings on the power play. First of the game for them here. Holmstrom has it. Holmstrom to the blue, gets by Adam Foote, leaves it. Chased down Yzerman. Holmstrom went back to help Lidstrom. Lidstrom back for Shanahan, who let it go. Holmstrom moves around the far point, but Fedorov had left.
That was an assumption by Holmstrom. He just assumed Fedorov was going to be back there.
Power play wise here this playoff year. Yzerman has picked up 3, and Brett Hull has 3 power play goals. Fedorov to Shanahan. Tried to get it for the tip to Holmstrom. Holmstrom in the corner. Dumps it behind the net. Fedorov back to him along the near side wall. Yzerman. Holmstrom knocked down. Cleared up by Foot, but not out. Now taking it out of the zone. Sakic. Short. Messier rather got it out. Kasparaitis could not handle. They had an odd man rush going, but needed a line change. 47 left on the advantage. Robitaille on the far side. He gets taken out of the play by Kasparaitis. Cleared around. Lidstrom steps up to hold it in. Came back along the near side wall to Hull. Hull dishes off. Wrist shot in front. Waugh save. Rebound. Waugh down to cover. Robitaille almost.
Boy, you think you got the puck out of the zone, you better be sure, because Detroit regroups as well as anybody that's ever had a power play in this sport. Steve Yzerman, it was just a little desperation flick to the paint down low, and Luc Robitaille was standing there waiting for it. When you've got a 620-goal scorer like Luc Robitaille, sometimes playing on the third line, you know you're deep in scoring. From our Southwest Airlines goal cam, when Robitaille got the puck, he really knew that he didn't have much time, and he just tried to chip it on the backhand. Patrick Waugh's pad was right there. If Robitaille had been able to get it a little higher, maybe.
Not had a goal in 4 games and only 2 goals this playoff year for Robitaille, and this is the 13th game that he has played in. And it'll be cleared out. 25 left on the power play for Detroit. Penalty killers of Colorado change it up one more time. Detroit's got time with 19 left on the advantage. From center ice, gunned in by Chelios. Waugh could not stop it. Sent back to Hull on the near side. Brett Hull goes cross ice. Duchesne. Chelios along the blue line. Hull with it. Hull deep into the corner. Wants to go through that alley. Chelios stepped up. Shot saved Waugh. Rebound behind the net is loose. Penalty is over. 2 shots on the power play. Chelios. Hull one-timer. Hull fell down. Didn't get all of it. Waugh got out and was able to knock it away, but it looked like side of the net. Remember, the power play's over here, but Detroit controlled the puck. That'll be sent off the glass to center. So 0 for 1 on the power play for the Wings. 1 for 1 Colorado. Chelios back. Drury driving him a little deeper. Ryan Fredol could not. Held back in by Dandino to Holmstrom. Holmstrom centering pass. Good read, Colorado. Coming down low to cover up on that one was Marty Skula. Skula will bring it in as the Avs change, so he'll just dump it into the corner. Back over to get it. Dandino. Matthew Dandino got it out of there. Red Wings going to change. Keene's pass tipped into the zone by Larson. Larson out there with Keene and Yell. Over Yell's head that time to center. Back up. Near side boards. Big battle into the corner. Devereaux. Boyd Devereaux turns it back for Datsuk. Hull. Devereaux still bouncing around. Devereaux got it. Datsuk knocked down. Hull brings it back, looks for the pick, sends it into the middle. Just tough skating right here. Score! Boyd Devereaux!
Another grinder comes through for Detroit. Well, I'll tell you what, this play looked like it was going nowhere. When Brett Hull dumped it to Devereaux, he had Adam Foote all over him. But Adam Foote kind of spun out of the play. Boyd Devereaux did a complete 360 and then ripped it over the shoulder of Patrick Waugh. I don't think Patrick Waugh was ready for the shot. Devereaux looked like he surprised him. But Boyd Devereaux did a heck of a job just staying with this play because it looked like it was going to die. He had a man right on him.
Boyd Devereaux's second goal of the playoffs at 9:37. Great work by the old goat and the 2 kids line. And one of the kids comes through, and Hull helps set it up. He'll get one of the assists.
Well, that is huge. You get guys on the board early in a series that aren't used to scoring, not counted on to score. But the team that wins this series will be the team that gets the most contributions from the most unexpected sources. I really believe that.
A 1-1 game. So Detroit has come back and tied this thing up here in the first period. Off the near side, Drury sent it in. Dominic Hasek will come back to play it. Walking again after Joe as the Red Wings get their fans on their feet. Draper heads to the net. Shot gets blocked. Went behind the net. Looking in front, nobody there. Kasparaitis moves over to the corner. Kasparaitis putting the hit on. Blake came over to try and free up the puck and did, away from Darren McCarty. Far side between the legs, passed by Forsberg. Didn't have anybody there but get it. McCarty getting the hand as he rocks Kasparaitis into the wall. Still a big jam up. Maltby gets taken down. McCarty got taken down. No penalties called on it, and a 3-on-3 the other way. Kasparaitis leaves it. Near side, Forsberg right around Draper. Centered shot, foot, and he missed it wide. Forsberg set it up. Adam Foote missed the chance, though, as he couldn't get it on net. The goal, 9:37, Devereaux from Holland Datsyuk.
You saw why the Red Wings and the Avs don't want to let one another have offhand rushes.
Better off doing it the other way. Backhand shot while the same. Rebound. Wow! Covers on Brendan Shanahan.
Not many guys in this league that make you hold your breath if you're trying to defend against them when they've got the puck. Sergei Fedorov is one of them. What a play he made to Shanahan.
Frederick Olofsson chance blocked on the far side. Moved back out by the Avs. Olofsson dumped it to Shanahan. Shanahan to Sergei Fedorov, just missed it. Played up by Adam Foote, who took the hit from Fedorov. Near side, Detroit just got it back out. Fedorov was behind the play anyway. Fedorov reversing. Hull picking up a point. An assist on that Detroit goal has now moved ahead of Jean Beliveau on the all-time point scoring list, breaking the tie that Hull had been in for 9th place. That'll be whistled with 8:31 left to go in the period. Hey, Duke.
Well, besides the great play by Boyd Devereaux on the Detroit goal, watch the play Pavel Datsyuk makes right here. He is going to go down. Well, actually happened before that. Boyd Devereaux's shot was a dandy, though.
Boyd Devereaux picking up the second goal that he has had here this playoff season. And a game tied at 1-1. And picking up in intensity. The reason you're not seeing any of the cheap shot stuff, or what a lot of fans have thought about with this series from past years, what we talked about on the power play. Neither team can afford the penalty.
You bet. They fear one another's power plays, and we've already seen why in this series. But the thing that's interesting to me is the top defensive team in the NHL in the regular season has already lost 3 leads in this series, and we haven't even completed 4 periods.
The thing that amazes me, Duchesne trying to hold it in, is that 4 of the last 8 games, Colorado has given up 5 or more goals. 4 out of 8. And that's Patrick Waugh. During the regular season, he did that 4 times in 63 games. I mean, what is going on with that? Where your defense is supposed to be better in the playoffs, and Colorado has really had some games where they have been knocked on the backside. Fisher takes it. Turns it by Reinfeldt. Both teams changing here. Waiting for some help on the ice was Detroit. Datsyuk puts it off the near side wall. Knocked away by Fisher. Back to Marty Skula. Skula to Forsberg. Forsberg, far side. Drury's out there on the near side. No room. Detroit jamming it up. Put a little trap on that far side that time. Hit by Forsberg. Puck out to center, though. Again, controlled. Chelios to get back on side. Knocked down. No room to move here for either team. So the high flip by Brian Muir, which will end up being an icing call on the touch by Fisher. Great hockey action is going to be coming your way.
So far they are. Early in the game, there was a little bit of end-to-end action, but trying to grind it right now. And, you know, that's the way Colorado has to play.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. We talk about teams playing to their strength and establishing their game. All of the firepower with Peter Forsberg and Joe Sakic, their game is being the top defensive team in the game. Their game is being the top defensive team in the game.
That's what they were during the regular season. Relied on that without Forsberg, and even with him back, they still have got to play that kind of game. This one's going to be an icing call on Detroit. Back out to center. Peter Forsberg, as we said, last 2 playoff years, 5 games where he didn't get a point. They lost them all. Well, doesn't mean just because he gets a point he's going to win, but he does have a point tonight.
Not really wearing him out, Bob Hartley isn't. I mean, he's averaging 17 minutes and 21 seconds a game. That's what he was averaging before game 1. So Peter Forsberg is fresh. And, you know, we really watched closely in the warm-up to see if his hand was bothering him. Remember, he was slashed in Game 7 of the San Jose series, but he launched a couple of rockets that didn't look like his hand was bothering him at all.
Steve Yzerman continues to take his regular shifts. Despite Scotty Bowman trying to do a little hip work, I think, in Colorado, saying he might not be available. Penalty coming. It's going to be on the Avs.
Darius Kasparaitis looks like he's the guilty guy.
That's the man who they have been able to keep under control since he came to Colorado. Bill McCreary.
Interference called by Bill McCreary, and this Detroit power play takes the ice again. See it right here. He was actually fighting with Chris Draper for the puck, and you know what? Yeah, he stopped and leveled Draper so that Draper couldn't get to the puck. That's a good call.
So we've had 3 interference calls in this game. 2 of them now have gone against the Avs. Second power play at 13-16. Shanahan deflected with Holmstrom out there in front. Center off Holmstrom, Yzerman. Yzerman centered for Holmstrom, and it blocked to the near side and cleared out by Blake. Colorado, the least penalized of all of the playoff teams. They have averaged only about 7.5 per game. They've given up 2 power plays here, though. We're talking about minutes and penalties. They've already got 4 on the board. Cleared around, not out. Shanahan dumped it back. Good play by Holmstrom. He had to reach hard to get that one on the backhand. Yzerman gets leveled on the near side, and it's cleared out by Mike Dean.
Every time Steve Yzerman goes down, you have to worry about his ability to get back up. And that's one of the reasons why Colorado is making sure they put him down.
And what does he do? He gets back up. The attempted dump in by Lidstrom got blocked out deep by Heinold, who chases him all the way down the ice. And Detroit will make a change here in their power play unit. They've got 59 left to go on it. Lidstrom off the near side. Nick Lidstrom, no goals. Last 4 games for him. He does have 3 goals, 5 assists the playoff year. That ends up in the seat for the whistle. Checking again with Brian Engel.
Gary, we're dealing with 2 of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League here. And the players always say when you're dealing against top goaltenders like Patrick Roy, you have to get in front of them. This is Darren McCarty's goal from the other night. You know who's getting in front of Patrick Roy? His own defenseman. Did he see that one? No. Did he see this one tonight? Boyd Devereaux? You could tell by the look on his face and his frustration level that even though there was nobody right in the crease area, sometimes his own guys are hurting him. That's going to happen when there's traffic, and Detroit is taking advantage of it right now on quick shots.
Yeah, when you're doing it for them to the point where Detroit doesn't even have to have guys in front screening, that's frustrating. And I know it's frustrating right now for Patrick Roy. And Adam Foote's defense, he's got to try to make the play, but he's got to try to stop the shot.
Power play still underway here. Hull drops it off, centering pass for Robitaille underneath his stick. And Dominic Hasek will have to play it at the other end. 34 seconds left on this power play for the Red Wings.
And Jason Williams getting power play time. Remember, he's only averaged a couple of minutes in the games that he's played, but they want 2 right-handers on this power play so that they can set up for a Robitaille shot or a Hull shot.
That's Chelios on the far side. Almost lost control of that. Foot gets it, tries to clear, and Colorado will. Backed out of there by Messier. Down to 10 seconds left to go on the advantage for Detroit. Duchesne picks it up. This game is tied at 1-1. The Avs get on the board first, and Hull a chance on that one ripped high. Back out the center, Duchesne, penalty over. Kasparaitis heads out of the box over to the bench. Detroit did not get a shot off that power play. Open, Draper in, shot, saved by Waugh, who comes out to cut down on the angle. 4:32 left first period. Shots 8-4 favor of Detroit. 1-1. And 5-3 in that first one on Saturday. This series will move back to Colorado. Our exclusive coverage here on ESPN will be there as well on Wednesday night. Off the near side. Held in. Maltby got it into the corner. The pin up there, Draper. Draper trying to move it away from Joe Sakic. Cycling again. Chance. Save made. Draper got out in front. Sakic starts it up ice. Sakic turning the Jets on here. Leaves it in the middle. Shot saved. Whistle. Offside. Boy, Sakic really was flying on that up ice. John Saunders and Barry Melrose standing by. Our Dodge intermission report upcoming. The Eastern Conference is tied up. They'll take a look at that. Melrose breaks down on McGillney and the unexpected hero. We will be there Wednesday. Exclusive coverage here on ESPN. It will be at 8 o'clock Eastern time from Colorado. Toronto Maple Leafs almost the game that was.
Boy, they win a game with 8 regulars out of the lineup. They get 4 back and they lose.
See,
Isn't that the way it goes? Yep.
Just the way it goes. Cleared back up to Fedorov. Drops it off. 4 minutes left to go here in the period. Fedorov in 9 miles offside. Thought he got hauled in, but he's not going to get a call.
Steve Yzerman really hasn't played a lot of hockey in this period. He's had a couple of power plays, but so hard for Steve to be the focal point of a hockey game. At least it seems to be in this series. It wasn't in the past. You want to see some acceleration? Watch this moment to moment from Joe Sakic. He just ripped through the neutral zone. I can't believe anybody was able to go offside on him. And then just seconds ago that forced this offside whistle, Peter Forsberg just nudging Sergei Fedorov. You saw Fedorov putting on the brakes. That tells you how powerful Forsberg is. He just leaned on him. Spin out for Fedorov.
Wanted to call on it and didn't get it. Adam Foote leaves it in the middle. Forsberg moving it up. Forsberg makes the spin. Drops it wide side. Almost connected in the middle. All alone. Shot. Hit the post and came out. Ryan Prick had the go-ahead goal with nobody there. And it hit the post to the left side and came out. Penalty coming on Detroit. Delayed whistle. Straight down the middle. Got blocked. There's the pickup by Shanahan. And here's the penalty call. What a chance Ryan Pritt had.
He had his arms up. I think he felt that it was in, but it clearly wasn't.
Minor penalty, number 2 White. Hold the stick.
Yuri Fisher will go. Steve Reinprecht was so wide open. He was waving his stick in the air, then he tapped it on the ice. Look at this. He didn't know that he had time to stop it, tee it up, and shoot it wherever he wanted. Nobody was near Steven Reinprecht. Watch this without his stick. Forsberg just crushed Chris Chelios.
Oh my. Penalty picked up here. Fisher holding the stick. 16:36. Each team's now had 2 power play chances. Red Wings have not been able to convert. Now Colorado gets one with 3:24 left to go in the period. Over to take the face-off. Sakic, Forsberg, both together on the power play. Blake's chance deflected in front, and it'll be cleared out of the zone. Short-handed Detroit, and Yzerman sends it up. On the power play, 4 power play goals by Sakic, 3 by Tanguay, including the one in this game. This is Milan Hajduk. Hajduk tried to circle, got cut off by Yzerman, who read that. Blake over to help, sends it off a stick behind the net. It'll be played Chelios. Chelios couldn't get there in time. Off the back of the net, Hasek watching as Chelios does get that one. Hull reaching up off the wall, couldn't get it. Fine play over there by Sakic to hold that in. Sakic made a great 2-foot pass over there. Hajduk knocked it down, shot save, rebound picked up side of the net. Sakic looking in front is Rob Blake. Blake on the power play. Everybody's down low. Hasek save, rebound deflected to the near side. Hajduk shot, hit the back of the pants of a Red Wing, and it's cleared. There was nobody on the blue line. Colorado had moved everybody down low. Pass, getting onside. A good play, far side by Heinold. As he had to reach back, Chelios tried to flip it out of the zone. Why? Because he's wide open. Short-handed, Maltby in, chance, save made. Waugh clears it back up. Colorado dropped everybody. Reinprecht, another chance. This one off the glass. 36 left in the Colorado power play. Look back along the blue line. There was nobody there.
They picked up the scent and everybody went down low to try to score. Milan Hajduk, what a shift for him. I didn't even think he was that fast. A couple of times there were players in position to dump the puck out, and he closed down on them so fast they couldn't move.
Cleared back up. Sakic trying to run the wall, couldn't get there. Adam Foote picks it up. 9 seconds left to go in the Colorado advantage. Off the near side, Keen's heading to the middle. Yell with a puck. Yell trying to turn it forehand. Hit the side of the net. Couldn't get it back. Fedorov picks it up. Power play over. Fisher on the ice touches that one as he came out of the box.
And on that penalty kill, we saw Dominic Hasek at his best. The best scrambler in the game. When it becomes a broken play, just every man for himself. Giant scrums in front. He is the best.
They do get one shot off that power play opportunity and a lot of scramble. Played back, both teams changing up 5-on-5 here. That's Brendan Shanahan leaves it. A minute to go in the period. Duchesne Got it up ice. Larson had blocked it. Blake comes back to get it. We are tied at 1-1. 2:59. Tanguay, Forsberg, and Sakic. 9:37. Devereaux from Hull and Datsu.
While Dominic Hasek was scrambling at his end, Patrick Waugh had to make a terrific save, shorthanded on Kirk Maltby. Maltby had the puck bouncing. Would it ever settle down? He tried to settle it. It never did. He launched a low shot. Patrick Waugh knew he only had one option, and that was to shoot. Before that, Dominic Hasek waiting, and then Peter Forsberg setting people up. Dominic Hasek at one point was helped by the fact that there was such a big crowd in front of him. I mean, what human was going to score through that crowd? Superman.
Theo Fleury. It would have to be a real short guy who could just sneak in, find a hole, get in there. Fedorov won the draw to Lidstrom. There's time here. Shot. Wow. Good screen set up in front. Cleared up ice. Hinote sends it in deep. Dominic Hasek back 10-5. Shots in favor of Detroit here in the first period. Chelios. Shanahan. 29 to go. Fedorov. Off the boards. Chelios. Kasparaitis stepping in. Chelios, good play to get it. Darren McCarty. Chelios stays up. Had bounced off the side of the net. Wow reached out. They've got a piece of that to clear it out. Cleared in by Kasparaitis. 12 seconds left to go in the period. Hasek for Chelios. Near side to Sergei Fedorov. Fedorov watching as the clock winds down. Wanted to get one more chance at it. McCarty, though, just sends it in. And Darren McCarty exchanges pleasantries on the far side. They separate. He and Kasparaitis were staring at one another.
Kasparaitis wanted to have at least one more hit before the period ended because he got smoked twice on that shift, and he never did get the hit.
So we've completed one here in game 2. Colorado and Detroit tied at 0 for 2 Detroit in that first period.
Colorado only mustered 6 shots on goal. Half of them came from the Joe Sakic line. Sakic, Tanguay, and Hayduk had one each.
Darren McCarty wondering where all the goals have gone. I didn't get any in the first period. What's going on?
He's got enough to hold him for a couple of games at least. What's interesting here is that Scotty Bowman choosing to have his grind line against the Sakic line. To me, the Sakic line, until they were actually broken up in game 1, were the best line in the game.
Set play right there down the middle. Not quite. Good idea, though. Face-off won by Draper, and then he headed right down the chute. Kasparaitis a chance. Hasek leaning. It went wide. We're underway here in the second. First game was also 1-1 the end of the first period. Lidstrom cleared it around. Maltby moved over to hold it in. Olesen let Hayduk go by, then takes Hayduk down. Puck cleared near side. Darren McCarty reaching, and they'll wave off any icing. Patrick Waugh coming out to get it. Cleared it up the near side boards. Tanguay reaching. Sakic's got it. Sakic in offside. Tanguay on the left. We would like to now define for you obstructed view seats.
Well, there really aren't supposed to be any here at the Joe Louis Arena, and this is Hockey Town, but we have found one obstructed view seat, and it's the man sitting in the background here. But you know what? I was reading in USA Today just on the plane yesterday that the big hair look is back in. It really is. Unfortunately for this gentleman, it's back in one game too soon. He doesn't even know the score's 1-1.
He never sees center ice. It's like Phil Esposito's seats at the Garden. All you could ever see was the slot where he shot from.
That's all you needed.
At the near end.
That's all you needed to see for Phil.
And as Phil said, that's all fans pay money to see anyway. Back to get it as Waugh. Cleared it around the near side. Hull stepped up, couldn't get it. Worked out by Drury down the near side. Nope, going to dump it in wide corner. Over to get it is Hasek. Fisher got there ahead of it. Came back to the point. Little rum as Hasek was moving back. Adam foot shot, though, was off the mark. Out the center. The Breeze sends it in. Delayed offside call here. Won't matter as Detroit does get it out. It ends up in the 6.
One of the matchups that we have seen and that we expected in this series features Chris Chelios of the Detroit Red Wings and Peter Forsberg of the Colorado Avs. And in game 1, they came together more than once. Peter Forsberg tucked Chelios down. Chelios went to the bench jawing at him. Tonight, Peter Forsberg, without his stick, crashed. He crunched Chris Chelios. So it's snarl from the Avs against fight on the blue line for the Detroit Red Wings. And they have been matched up now 26 of 28 even strength shifts in the series.
Forsberg did not get a shot in that first period. Free taken by Shanahan, led all shooters in the first. Off the far side. Dandino got it over. Shanahan moving it in. Brendan Shanahan trying to drop it in front. Blake blocked it. Blake came back to get it. Yzerman was there, avoided the hit. Comes up the near side boards. Yzerman dropped back to Fedorov. Held it in again. Good play along the near side wall. Shanahan a chance. Save made. Wow, rebound shot by Yzerman. Still loose. Fedorov reaching. Deflected back to the point. Worked over to Duchesne. Duchesne gets leveled on the far side after he took that shot. Why did Duchesne get hit? And he's maybe hurt. Puck loose in front. Shot. Wagen's got it in the pads. Great Detroit pressure. Sergei Fedorov sliding along the ice. Got it to Yzerman, and Yzerman put one down low.
Steve Yzerman is playing the wing, so he doesn't have to do as much skating, and so he doesn't have to have the responsibility defensively back in his own end. But he is extremely dangerous still in the offensive zone when he doesn't have to really come up with a burst of speed to get open. The first chance was one from Brendan Shanahan that Steve Yzerman couldn't get the handle on. From our Southwest Airlines goal cam, you see Patrick Waugh going down, and see, he's not like Dominic Hasek. He kind of loses his angle and kind of almost looks awkward once he is busted out of his technique. It's all about technique with Patrick Waugh.
And that's why if you can get a scramble going in front, then you're probably in pretty good shape. And Detroit's doing that. Steve Duchesne, did he take a hit?
Well, he had to scramble to the boards because Dandino hit him with a pass that was too far in front of him.
Went down.
Hino's the guy that ran him. Yep.
Steve Duchesne over there, but it looks like he's all right. Face off to the left side of Patrick Waugh. Face-offs decidedly in favor of Detroit. 64% to 36 in the first period, led by Jason Williams, who had a big face-off period.
Gotcha, he won 5 of 6. He only took 2 face-offs in game 1, but you could tell that clearly Scotty Bowman had made up his mind to use Jason Williams early, and he had to because he's moved Steve Yzerman from center to the wing.
That's Williams who puts that pass on here. Olsen leaves it. Holmstrom takes the shot through a screen or two, but it deflected off the far side to Yell. Yell gets taken out by Williams. Robitaille's pass, and it'll be dropped back into the zone. They wanted to change. Redwings will do it here. Greg DeVries on the near side. DeVries tied for second among defensemen in the playoffs in scoring, being shut down in game 1. A long wait here to get it set up. Fourth line out there for Colorado. Larson was already up ice. Keane trying to get it to him blocked. Datsuk left it. McCarty. Darren McCarty on the far side. So it's McCarty out there now with Draper on is Maltby there with him. Yep, near side. It rolls to center. Fisher knocked it down. Scotty Bowman, of course, going back to the grind line, and it worked in that last game. That's McCarty. Cleared back out. The Avs having trouble in transition game here, trying to find any room through center for a pass. Dumped in. Maltby got it around. McCarty holds it to Draper. Draper looking out in front, had Fisher cutting, trying to get it to him, couldn't, and Fisher was open. Fisher snuck in from the blue line, and nobody had picked him up. Chelios. Right now, Detroit skating around the Avs. That one, though, ends up in the seats. 3.5 into this second period, 1-1. Tomorrow night, series tied at 1 apiece. It'll be the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Carolina Hurricanes. The series moves to Toronto. Game 3. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, exclusive coverage here on ESPN.
There's Jason Williams getting more ice time in this hockey game than at any other time in the playoffs. Took Stefan Yell to the boards, and then Stefan Yell wouldn't let go. Well, he finally did. And is it wrong for a man to hold another man's leg? Well, not if you're in the Stanley Cup Conference Finals, it isn't.
That's the exception to the rule, ladies and gentlemen. Cleared back out to Fedorov, who's got some room. DeVries moving in. Fedorov takes it to the middle. Fedorov takes the chance. While the save. There's a rebound. But it'll be cleared out. Play by Fedorov on the setup for himself that time. Lidstrom dropped that up ice. Yzerman's out there on the near side. Yzerman waiting for Fedorov cutting. Played by Waugh instead. Knocked down Shanahan. Waugh getting back just in time. Greg DeVries turns it up.
I know he didn't mean to, but it almost looked like Brendan Shanahan waited for Patrick Waugh to get back and get set.
Avs have not had a shot yet in this second period. And they've not had the puck in the offensive zone very much either. Shanahan 3 3 shots in the first, leading all shooters for both teams.
Well, we know that Patrick Waugh was lit up in game 1, allowing 5 goals here in Detroit with the Detroit Red Wings. But in the next game, after allowing 5 goals in a playoff loss, Patrick Waugh is 8-0. Those are terrific numbers. We all know that sooner or later, numbers aren't exclusive. They're meant to be balanced out sooner or later. But obviously, Patrick Waugh bounces back mentally, if nothing else.
That one off the boards for Reinpret. Reinpret had the best chance to have given Colorado the lead in this game. It bounced off the post in that first period. 5-0 the shots in favor of Detroit so far in this period. That's Blake back with it. Blake turned it into the middle, and there you see Colorado's problem right there. They cannot move that puck through center ice. Scotty Bowman said after game 1, I think Colorado's got the best transition team in the National Hockey League. Well, the Red Wings have responded to that here in game 2. Kasparaitis circles. Kasparaitis brings it up, intended for Messier. They wave off any icing. Has to be played. Holmstrom took the hit, got it up, not out. Shot on. Dominic Hasek easily knocks that one away. Back Detroit, able to move it out of the zone again. Waugh's got to come get it. Had 2 Red Wings coming. Threaded the seam to Rico Hall. Rico Hall sends it back. Hasek with it. Hall trying to knock it off the dasher. Couldn't get to it. Flipped into the middle. Williams coming back. Williams takes the hit. Rubbed out on the play by Brian Muir. Holmstrom the hit. On Marty Skula freed it up. Robitaille was cutting. Pass blocked by Waugh. Robitaille got it back. Robitaille in the middle. A quick shot on the windup by Williams. Got blocked. Loose. Messier had it. Third back out. Skula. Avalanche changing. Near side boards. Loose. Yell. Held in by Brian Muir. He's open. He takes a shot. Save made. Hasek. Rebound shot. Larson. Another save made by Dominic Hasek.
What a dandy. Brad Larson just about surprised Dominic Hasek. That was labeled just inside the post. Maybe Hasek's best save of the game. So the Avs are having trouble getting shots, but they're dangerous.
Was there a goal, Bill?
I don't know. Close call. I'm not sure that we've got the angle that can tell. Dominic Hasek had a puck. See that? I mean, we can't tell. If we have a chance, and we might not right now, we've got to show you the overhead view that we had a chance to look at during the commercial break. And the water bottle is actually in the way. And you know what? I think we all just learned something about the positioning of the water bottle on the net.
They're going to have to correct that because that bottle was set up right by the front crossbar.
The bottle right there, and you can tell that I'm not sure we still could have told, but without a doubt, the water bottle is in the way.
And they're holding the face-off here. They're looking upstairs because, man, that was close.
And if the ref doesn't see it, it has to be definitive as determined by the video people upstairs, and there really was no way to tell on that one. Now, there's only one guy in this building, I think, that knows.
Dominic Hasek.
Yeah.
And he's not telling. Fedorov moves it in. He doesn't have to.
At least not yet.
Shot. Wow, gloves that one on Brendan Shanahan and hangs on. Shanahan's got the guns ablazing here tonight. He's got a 3-goal scoring, 3 and 3 over the last 3 games for him.
Sergei Fedorov dished and then jumped. He thought that Shanahan might one-time that because he dished and then jumped out of the way. You don't have to ask Brendan Shanahan twice to shoot. That's his game. He just fires away.
The way he's scoring right now, more power to Detroit when he does so. Face off to the right side this time of Patrick Waugh. 13:40 left to go here in period number 2. Game tied at 1-1. Off the face-off, Sakic and Fedorov. Fedorov came back to get it. Joe Sakic trying to steal it, did, and Colorado gets it up ice. Drury on the right, Tanguay back to him, will be offside if he brings it in. He does not. Brings it in onside. Back over to Tanguay. In the middle, just missed. Hayduk cutting. 3-on-3 the other way. Hayduk was open for a moment. 4-on-3. Colorado gets back. Shot right through the crease by Fedorov. Back up Sakic looking for a little help. Lost the puck. Tanguay got it. Tanguay. Backhand side. Forehand side. Tanguay set it up. Came back into the middle. Stolen away by Fedorov. Sergei Fedorov, who can play defense, just did there. Poke checked away from him in the other end, and Sakic will flip it off the glass and out.
To try to get a change while both lines are tired. That was great end-to-end stuff.
Lidstrom will move that one in, and Detroit will complete their line change here. Fedorov getting off the ice in a great shift. Peter Forsberg's drop pass. Chelios drove it up, and that did come outside the line and will be whistled.
You know, the Joe Sakic line doesn't like to dump it in. And even on a broken play, they'll keep coming. Tanguay picked up a loose puck outside the blue line. Watch his move here. He tips it between Lidstrom's stick and his body, and then decided to come in and try for a wide scoring chance. Steve Yzerman was there on a really good defensive play. This still, to me, looks like the most dangerous line for Colorado in this game.
They are skating well. Tanguay, playoffs, 11th most on the team in shots. Joe Sakic leads the National Hockey League in shots in the playoffs coming into this game. 59. He is tied for first in goals and third in points for Sakic. Fisher tried to get it, didn't, came back into the middle. Poke check to the point, shot, Skula score! Peter Forsberg on a deflection.
Now, the Red Wings are going to argue this, but it's going to be pointless. You are allowed to redirect a puck with your skate. You're just not allowed to make a kicking motion towards the net. And I'll tell you what, as brilliant as Peter Forsberg is, if he made a kicking motion towards the net, then he is Superman. What a weird play. The puck with Chris Draper had made a really good defensive play there to stop Drury from a shot. It went back to the point, and Peter Forsberg might not have even been aware that it was going to hit him until it came. Let's see it here. Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, sure he was. What a play. This is a rule that changed last year. You're allowed to redirect intentionally for plays like that. Don't deprive a guy of a brilliant ability to do something like that, and that has to count. There was definitely no kicking motion towards the goal.
That's the rule language, the kicking motion. He knew it was coming. Perfectly positioned to skate while Chelios was shoving it.
And he knew that Dominik Hasek was out of the net because Peter Forsberg had Dominik Hasek in his sight lines. Plus, he didn't mind Chelios tying up his stick.
What a play.
Because he made up his mind as soon as the shot was launched that he had his skate blade free. That was, I'll tell you what, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant play.
Peter Forsberg gets his 8th goal of the playoffs. Now tied for first in playoff goal scoring. Sakic's got 8 as well. And the Colorado Avalanche, for the second time in this game, are on top. This time it's 2-1.
Second time in the game, 4th time in the series already, and they have not been able to hold the first 3 leads.
And it'll be cleared back up, taking Skula near side. Kasparaitis flips it in deep. Red Wings get it back. Cleared up by Duchesne. Not out. Messier dug it out. Good play, Messier. Moved back into Keane. Keane centered Messier and got deflected away from him by Duchesne. The length of the ice. Kasparaitis will chase this down and take the whistle for the icing call. Goal picked up at 7:33. Forsberg's 8th of the playoffs. Skula the assist. Our Southwest Airlines intermission report with John and Barry's coming up. Preview of the Canes and Leafs game tomorrow. A little bounce back for Kapanen and Barry's breakdown.
Well, Peter Forsberg virtually promised that he would better here in game 2. Because Peter Forsberg said after game 1, I wasn't very hard to stop because I didn't play very well. He's picked up a goal and an assist here in this game, and his team leads 2-1.
Face-off to the right side of Hasek. And again, the face-off will be won by Detroit. Yzerman got that one against Joe Sakic. Sakic coming into this game has been a red-hot face-off man, but not for the likes of Yzerman here in the playoffs. What a move, Fedorov. His shot off the blocker. Shanahan trying to back it in off him. And Waz got it underneath the pad. Tracking to Adam Foote. While he's holding the puck, Foote standing in front of him. You got that, Patrick? Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Well, when you give Sergei Fedorov a chance to get his speed up in the neutral zone, the neutral zone is the speed zone. That is where you get your speed. And when Sergei Fedorov has a chance to go between the blue lines, well, I'll tell you what, he is just a handful for any pair of defensemen in the NHL. He crossed the blue line, had a great move, and it looked like he fanned on the first one, was still able to get pretty good work on it.
Fedorov is right now tied for 14th all-time in playoff points, picking up an assist in game number 1. To the right of Waz. Draw, one back by Dotson. Held in by Duchesne. Hall trying to get a chance on it, couldn't. Poked away from him and cleared. Dropped off by Duchesne. They had to get on side here. Hull came back to help and sends it in. Waugh holds it up over to Greg DeVries on the near side. DeVries logging a lot of ice time tonight. 8:13 in the first. Icing call on the touch by Duchesne. 2-1, Colorado leading it. As this series will head back a couple of days from now to Denver. I want to remind you tomorrow night at 12:30 Eastern, ESPN brings you more sports. It'll be Jay Moore. Joining him this week, boxer Oscar De La Hoya and the musician DJ Quick. Tomorrow night, 12:30 ESPN. Full house as always here at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Great to have you with us here for Game 2. We'll take you right through the Stanley Cup Finals, of course. To the final ceremonies of the team that gets the 16 wins first here in the postseason and takes Lord Stanley's Hardware home. Peter Forsberg on the drop pass. Checking job by Ryan Brett, trying to dig it out, could not. Chelios turns it back up. Red Wing crowd settled back a little bit now, waiting, hoping for that next goal to tie this thing up. Datsuk knocked down in the corner. Blake gloved that one up. Ryan Brett got it down. Here comes Forsberg, and a 3-on-2 for the moment. Forsberg in. 2-on-1. Forsberg shot over the net. Deflected up and over. Peter Forsberg, a penalty coming, an interference call on Detroit.
And Yuri Fisher did such a great job of getting back using his speed.
Detroit penalty, 2 minutes for obstruction, interference.
But he got his stick laid on somebody and held him back. Obstruction signifies that it was away from the play. Peter Forsberg was looking to see what he had. He ultimately made the right decision here to try to score himself, because Chris Drury, no way Drury was going to get a pass. And I think Chris Chelios got a piece of this. Watch right there. Good defenseman play one man. Great defenseman play two men. There's the interference call, the obstruction interference on Fisher. He took down Kasperitis, but what a defensive play by Chris Chelios. And the great ones truly can play two players, and most other guys just can only play one. Chelios played Drury and Forsberg on that play.
3 for 7 on the power play for the Avs, who get their third of the game. Fisher, the interference call. Colorado could go in by 2 if they can get one here. And that bounces to the line. Foot could not hold that in. So the Detroit penalty killers in a big moment here. The Detroit penalty killers have given up only 3 power play goals in the playoffs at home. Eisenman out there, knocked against the boards by Forsberg, but he held that puck in. Sakic back to get it. By the way, Steve Yzerman skated a lot, 7-10 in the first period. So no cut down in ice time for him in the first. That'll be cleared up, and Wow will have to play it.
You know, Scotty Bowman, you mentioned this in the first period. Scotty Bowman said we probably overplayed Steve Yzerman in Game 1. The hardest thing is sitting on the bench as a coach, knowing you've got a Steve Yzerman and trying to hold back.
And an Igor Larionov missing his 4th game, so they're short in that position in any of them. Again, Wow's got to play it. Colorado's not been able to get this set up. Draper was up in the forecheck. Cross ice for Sakic. Sakic aims the blue one in. Ahead for Reinfred into the corner. Reinfred hacked at by Chelios. Whoa, man. You could hear that one up here off the pad. Sakic back along the blue line. Leaves it. Drury winds up. Takes it. Hit the crossbar. Sakic holds it in. Chris Drury in the crossbar. Still in. Maltby couldn't clear. Nobody could find the puck. Dropped off the far side. Sakic into the corner. Reinfred let it go. Lidstrom, his pass partially blocked, taken back by Chelios up the middle, received between the legs that time by Maltby. Maltby brings it in, short-handed, Draper a little behind you. Draper along the boards, trying to tie it up with 20 left to go on the Detroit penalty. Avs have time for one more rush. Hayduk drops it to Forsberg. Forsberg onside to the middle. Forsberg in, backhander, save. Hasek lost it and covers it outside of the net.
Boy, as Peter Forsberg picked up his game, phew. We talked about the matchup, the snarl of Peter Forsberg against the bite of Chris Chelios. Here's Chris Chelios. Watch what he does here with one hand on his stick on Steve Reinfred. Knew exactly where he was going with it. It was just a one-hand swat, but right on the elbow, and it stung Reinfred. Then Peter Forsberg, he is alive and well and kicking here at the Joe. I'll tell you what, he has really come alive since his goal. Head-to-head, these two guys are going to battle it out this entire series. What's so interesting is while Chelios and Forsberg, the guys that play a more robust game, a physical game, are head-to-head. The two of the Lady Byng finalists are going head-to-head, and that's Nick Lidstrom and Joe Sakic. equally as interesting, but different styles.
Apologizing as they hit one another. No, I don't think so. Hasek kicked it out. Fisher out of the box. Power play over. Only one shot during that power play for Colorado, but they remain up 2-1. Blocker on the dump in, far side by Duchesne, and the Avs send that one up. This is an icing call on the touch at the other end. Matthew Dandino.
Well, Colorado has really picked up their game since scoring. Peter Forsberg deflected it in off his skate. Needless to say, Chris Chelios was a tad unhappy. We don't even want anybody watching us.
That good hard ice, and the way the weather's been around outside, it's not a whole lot of difference in the temperature.
All you got to do is leave the doors open.
That's right. We are 10-1. Colorado leading at 7:55 left here. Second period. Shots are 18-12 in favor of Detroit. Red Wings fans getting into it. Yell the hit on Olesen. Olesen retaliates, trying to stand him up. Olesen lost his stick. Detroit does come away with it. Robitaille. Robitaille moves it in. 10th all-time in goals regular season. Robitaille has not been able to find the mark of late. None in the last 4 for him for Detroit in the playoffs. Back for it. Rico Hall up, not out. Dumped in by Duchesne. Robitaille back in behind the net. Robitaille, Holmstrom setting up in front. Pass game 3. And it'll be played by DeVries. DeVries moves it into the middle. Both teams want line changes. DeVries dumped it in. Dominic Hasek didn't have anybody there. Left it back in behind the net. Teams get their changes here. Holmstrom. Holmstrom's got a 3-game scoring streak, a goal in each of the last 3 games. Duchesne stepped up to hold it in. Robitaille back on the point. Dandino wide side on the rebound. Duchesne shot blocked by Blake. Rebounded to the side of the net by Holmstrom. Good work here down low by Detroit. Back over to Holmstrom. Blake a little hit there. Keane trying to drive it out. Got it up in the air to center. Dandino reached, couldn't get it. Drop pass from Keane, lost to Blake. Blake moves it in. Blake stood up. Fisher was there. Mike Keane knocked it away, and a penalty coming on Detroit.
Oh, is that Yuri Fisher again? I think that's what Bill McCreary has called another penalty on Yuri Fisher. You know, this is kind of a test for Yuri Fisher because you get shaken. Yuri Fisher was big in game 1. He's got to make sure he regroups and doesn't let these 2 penalties really affect him.
Could lose some ice time when this starts happening. I want to remind you tomorrow night, series tied 1 apiece. The Toronto Maple Leafs take that series back to Toronto to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Game 3, exclusive coverage, 7 o'clock, right here on ESPN. Well, this is just exactly what neither coach wanted to see happen. Power plays start piling up here. This is the 4th of the game. Fisher's had 3 consecutive penalties. This one for roughing at 13:29. And power play number 4 for Colorado. They are 1 for 3 so far in this game. Blake moves up front again. Shot saved by Hasek. Rebound kicked out of the zone by Draper.
What a play by Chris Draper. You got to have leg drive, and then you got to have timing, and he has both of those when he goes to poke the puck out.
See, only 3 shots off the power play. Near side all alone. Chris Drury, chance. Whip behind and wide of the net. Hasek thought that had gone in. He missed it, but it went wide. Cleared up and out of the zone. Again, Maltby. Patrick Waugh way out. He's got an empty net. Maltby's got the puck. Waugh going back. Maltby, Waugh, Maltby. Scores! Waugh gets caught!
Decision, and it has cost the Colorado Avalanche. Patrick Waugh didn't have to come out and get this because Rob Blake was there, but once you're the defenseman coming back, you've got to give way to your goalie. Patrick Waugh turned it over to Kirk Maltby and never had a chance to get back and get set. I'm not even sure Patrick Waugh knew exactly where the goal was when he was backing up. You lose your frame of reference when you're that far out. A great move by Kirk Maltby, and his shorthander has tied it.
That is the first shorthander save made by Dominic Hasek twice. First on the attempt by Joe Sakic, then on the rebound off the near side by Hayduk. It is a 2-2 game with a minute left to go in the Colorado power play. Eisenman's got a haul of ice, but a little too far for him. Waugh knocks it away, and the fans are really going to get on Patrick Waugh now. A short-handed goal and a clear mistake by Waugh. Colorado's first allowed. The 5th short-handed goal of the playoffs for Detroit. The first picked up by Maltby. And it's cleared again. 38 left to go in the power play opportunity.
And you know, in this period, because Patrick Waugh's a left-hander, he's only got one choice really. If he doesn't want to clear it up the middle, he clears to the benches. But that's where it's tough to read because there's congestion over there.
Tanguay got it to Foot. Foot's open. A shot. Missed the net. Rebound. Forsberg. Tried to center. Tanguay held onto it instead. Forsberg gets it over to Foot. Foot again. Save made by Dominic Hasek. Up the near side boards. Detroit clears.
Boy, this crowd alive all of a sudden. Yeah, baby.
Maltby exciting him, and it was a great setup because you've got Waugh skating backwards while Maltby's moving in short-handed. Better out. And that'll do it on the power play. A short-handed goal on the power play by the Detroit Red Wings, Kurt Maltby. And this game is tied at 2-2. Mike Keane drove it into the zone. Back to get it is Dandino. Took the hit from Messier. Puck freed side of the net. Saw Hasek diving out of there, but he couldn't reach it. Off the near side, Colorado trying to keep the heat on as they've really stepped up the pressure after that short-handed goal was scored. Keane got it back to Messier. Messier trying to get it to Keane behind the net. Blocked by Dandino. Bounces off to Shane. Far side, Kasparaitis reaching. Held in by Rico Hall. His pass lost to Shane. Got it out. Keane put the hit on, but knocked down himself at center ice. You hear the Patrick chant here from the Detroit crowd to Waugh. Back through center. This will be an icing call. And this game is tied at 2-2. Short-handed goal by Maltby at 14:08. His first goal of this playoff year. And Maltby celebrates the shorty that ties this game at 2-2.
The farther you go in the playoffs, the more important the surprise contributors become.
How about tonight, Bill? That's exactly what's happened. You've got Maltby getting his first goal of the playoffs and Devereaux his second. All those 600 goal scorers for Detroit, 3 of them. And you're getting grind kind of people doing it, including Darren McCarty, who had the trick in the last game.
That's 5 goals already in this series from guys that you probably wouldn't have listed in your top half a dozen guys to score.
Dominic Hasek trying to clear it around. Keep in mind, the Avalanche have had a chance to be up by a couple of goals in this game. Drury had a shot that ended up going off the pipe. We saw one that may have actually gotten by Dominic Hasek that he pulled out, but you couldn't tell. It's been that close, and now we're tied at 2-2. 1960 in the shots favoring Detroit. Sakic sends that in from center. Dominic Hasek leaves it there. Frederick Olofsson comes back. Olofsson will be challenged behind the net. Moved it out himself to Shanahan. Shanahan dump wide side corner. Holmstrom centering pass. Came back to Forsberg. A whistle behind the play. As I don't know what the call was here. Must have been an icing.
We're going to go back and show you the Maltby goal. You don't have the luxury of taking 10 seconds to make up your mind. A split-second decision. Patrick Waugh came out, cleared it right over. It ended up on Maltby's stick. There were 2 things against Patrick Waugh. He didn't know exactly where the goal was, and he was moving backwards at a high rate of speed, so he couldn't get any traction to go sideways. If, in fact, Maltby deked him, Maltby did. No traction, and a super shorthanded goal for the Red Wings.
Not a good number.
Nope. Those giveaways, most of them haven't come back to haunt him. You know, he digs in mentally after losses. We know that. But at the same time, that is a mental mistake. That was a decision that went bad.
And as Patrick Waugh is inclined to think in these situations, he now owes his team one. He's got to steal one here. That's the way he always thinks about the game in those terms. And he's the one who made the mistake on that one. Fisher back to Chelios. 2:20 left to go, second period. Game tied at 2-2, which is exactly the way the second period ended in game 1. Back for Chelios. Chelios, dump pass into the middle, is onside. Wrister deflected and into the seats. Pretty good chance for Draper right there. 2:07 to go in the period. Let's check in with Brian again. Right?
Gary, we've had our cameras on Peter Forsberg. European players are trained in great technique, and our theme here is hands, head, and feet. And the first one, his head and his hands are perfect. He sets up an assist and a great pass. And look at the head and the hands again, walking into the front of the net. The head and the hands again, seeing the opportunity, being able to hold on, and then the feet. Pele would have been proud of this play, scoring the second goal by using those golden feet. What a talented player he is in all three of those aspects.
I think as soon as they change the rule to allow those deflections with the skates into the net, that it favors European players because most of them play soccer.
Save made on Chelios's chance. Dump back into the corner. Waugh back to get it off the near side. And just dumped out of there. The Avalanche wanting to clear the zone to take the heat off. Messier did so. Pass into the middle. Hull got it back to himself. Dropped off. Foote's there to play it. Foote back for DeVries. 1:42 to go. DeVries gets it up ice. Up to the corner. Rico Hall gets by Fisher. Let the puck go though to Messier. Messier, they got Mike Keane in front of the net. Messier gets knocked down by Fisher. Fisher gets knocked down by Keane. DeVries to Keane. Keane turns, shoots, blocked. Shot Messier, blocked. Back. It's picked up and cleared out of the zone. Red Wings back offensively. Devereaux. And it'll be dumped in by Boyd Devereaux. Colorado takes it with 1:14 left here in period number 2. Into the corner. Nope. Hashik stopped it. Olsen back to get it. Frederick Olsen, the Sakic line out there now. Fedorov's got room. Fedorov and Sakic and Yzerman together. Yzerman, backhand chance. Well reached. Tanguay helps. Back in behind the net. Fedorov and Yzerman. Yzerman kicking at it. Yzerman comes around. Penalty coming. It'll be on Colorado. Delayed whistle. Fedorov, Shanahan. Extra skater. Shot. Blocked. There's the touch. And a tripping call on Colorado.
Darius Kasparaitis, the man that's going. 40 seconds to go in the second period. Still enough time to get a power play out there. Get something done.
Play number 11, Colorado, trip.
Tripping is the call. What a play by Fedorov. As soon as you start skating diagonally through the zone, you're harder to cover. A beautiful overlap crossing pattern between Yzerman and Fedorov. Steve Yzerman's chance here. Patrick Roy started to reach behind him. A little help from his friends. Rob Blake was there. There's the chop on Steve Yzerman. This is kind of weird. You look at the scoring summary for this game, and if you didn't know which scoring summary you were looking at from both games, other than the names, would it follow the same pattern?
Same pattern. Indeed it is. Power play with 37 seconds to go. This is the third of the game for Detroit. They have not converted on their first 2 chances in this game on the power play. Shanahan gets it back up to Lidstrom. Lidstrom, Shanahan, Holmstrom in the high slot, not down low. Only one man back along the blue. Now Fedorov joins Lidstrom. Lidstrom leaves it Shanahan. Shanahan looking. Fedorov open. Shot. Save made by Waugh with a screen by Holmstrom.
Big guts by Holmstrom just to stand there for the screen, and Patrick Waugh knows what was coming at him. Guy that won the hardest shot at the skills competition at our All-Star game this year. Fedorov. It dropped. Wasn't flat, but he still got all of it. Patrick Waugh couldn't have seen this shot. But that's why with his technique, he just plays the net. He just went down. I think when Holmstrom jumped, it told Patrick Waugh that the shot was coming, and that was his only indication that it was coming, was Holmstrom jumping.
He wasn't going to see through that body mass, I'll tell you.
And he doesn't lean to one side. A lot of goalies will lean. Patrick Waugh's feeling is if he's well positioned, he'll get most of those.
Another draw won by Detroit. One-timer that gets blocked into the seats with Messier going down in front of Hull. And Hull was lined up for that big one-timer. Messier got the body down on the ice. That'll scare the heck out of you. Better turn your head the other way on that one.
But you know, when you're really committed to killing penalties, it scares you more when you don't feel it hit you.
Yeah.
Because you know it's missed you, or he's faked it and gone around you.
Off the face-off. This time it will be won by Sakic. Foot played it up the wall, and Blake will clear it, and that will do it in the period. Tanguay and Devereaux scored in the first. Forsberg from Skula here in the second, and then Maltby at 14:08, a shorthanded goal. And a power play will continue with 1:19 left left to go on it for the Red Wings to start the third period. Forsberg is definitely involved. All of their scorers who you expect to score getting it done. Somebody else doesn't do that, they may be in trouble.
Well, that is true. At the same time, Detroit might have to get some of their glamour players scoring because they can't get this series won, I don't believe, just with their grinders. But I've said it and I'll say it again. The team that gets the biggest efforts and the most production out of guys like Kirk Maltby and Darryl McCarty will most likely win this series. You got to remember, though, Maltby scored 50 goals in junior. Darryl McCarty in Belleville in junior scored 55 goals. So given the chance when the puck is on their tape, these guys haven't completely forgotten how to score.
Well, there's a power play to start this third period. A minute 19 left on the Colorado Avalanche penalty. Picked up by Kasparaitis, and Detroit continues on the advantage here to start the third. Game tied at 2-2. Shots are 22-16 in favor of Detroit. Third period is underway. Fedorov back in behind his own net. Fedorov, Robitaille, and Brett Hull on this power play unit up front. Lidstrom carrying the puck to Hull. Hull sends it in. Fedorov and Lidstrom are playing back on the points on the advantage. Short-handed goal by Maltby tied this game up. Hasek coming out to play this with Yell moving in on him. And it around the near side for Lidstrom. Still 47 left. New sheet of ice. Good time to have a power play going to start a period. Fedorov dished off. Into the corner, Adam Foote and Robitaille. Puck freed up in the corner. They'll look to clear here, and Yell got it out of there. Lidstrom coming back to knock it down. Changing the penalty killers of Colorado. They get out on the ice. Yzerman took a little stick there from Heinold. Got it away in the middle. Intercepted and cleared. Dan Heinold cleared it out. Heinold on the penalty killing unit. A couple of shots and the clear. Down to 13 left on the Detroit advantage. Fedorov gets it over to Draper. Draper moves it in. Darren McCarty with him. Shot right through the crease. Played back Fisher, far side. Fisher, he'll send it back. Power play is over. Door opens. Out on the ice comes Kasparaitis. Skula sends it into the zone. Colorado will change. One shot on goal for Detroit during that last power play that they do not convert on. Now it took a bounce off the side off the referee.
Bill Drury, and that's hurting him. Well, I tell you what, he is limping, and he should be too. He got nailed.
That caught him flush. Cleared back to Fisher. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey in the middle. Avs get it. They've got to clear the zone. Sakic got to drop it back to Breeze. Breeze pass. Fisher got a piece. Duquette had lost it. Sakic reached in, got it back to Greg DeVries. DeVries tried to turn it deeper into the zone. Detroit was there. Cleared back up by Sakic to center. Datsuk was able to block it, and Chelios will send it into the seats. Take a look at our Visa storyline here in Game 2 from Detroit tonight. Peter Forsberg, a goal and an assist. 8 multi-point game of the playoffs. And Maltby, Detroit's game-tying goal and 2 assists in the series.
Our Visa replay, we will show you the shorthanded goal by Kirk Maltby at the end of the second period. A little help from Patrick Waugh, who tried to clear, banked it off the boards right to Maltby. Kirk Maltby showed the world why he was a 50-goal scorer in junior. Our Visa storyline, the goal that has this team tied.
Detroit Red Wings, after losing the first 2 games to Vancouver, have gone 9-1 since then. After and giving up just 2.1 goals a game. They are, without question, the hottest team in the playoffs right now. And they've got this game at 2-2 here in the third and a chance to go up 2-0 in the series if they can find a way to win this in the third or later. Adam Foote dropped it off. Bonnie Skula brings it in. Poke checked away from him. Little room up ice. It's a 2-on-2 in the middle. Shot partially deflected by Chris Drury as he back-checked on Boyd Devereaux.
But that's why you have to be so careful when Brett Hull's on the ice. Marty Skula tried to rush. Looked like he wasn't committed to doing very much. Turned the puck over inside the blue line. As soon as that turnover happens, Brett Hull transitions and goes the other way, waiting for a pass.
Fedorov's pass gets intercepted by Forsberg off the wall far side. Heinold trying to drive it in. Dandino is there to take it away. Duchesne for Fedorov. Steve Yzerman has not had reduced ice time in this game as he is continuing to work the 15 or more minutes a game. He's played 13:37 through the first 2. Detroit gets back on side. Duchesne got it up to Fedorov, who sends it in. Fedorov, Shanahan, and Yzerman together as they have been throughout the night. As Yzerman missing the puck over there in the corner. Rod Blake. Blake turns it into the zone off the stick. Chris Chelios takes it back. Fisher gets it out of the zone. Keane is there. Keane trying to drop it off to himself. Fisher was helping on that shot by Holmstrom after Williams set it up. Play by Jason Williams. Fisher, the near side blue. Fisher, his pass partially blocked by Keane. Fisher again, shot off the stick. Would have been wide in any event. Centering pass knocked down. Big battle going on in front. Tipped back towards the middle. Robitaille went by it. Bumped out. But both teams need a line change here. There'll be no whistle. It'll have to be played by Chelios. Gets it back up for Fisher. Colorado's got their change done. Detroit leaning over the bench to do so. And the net leaves it. Hayduk. Sakic in the middle. Hayduk got turned. Dumped it behind the net. Hasek came back to play it. Sakic hit by McCarty. Lidstrom. All move in. Puck against the wall. Hayduk trying to get it out of there. It's on a skate, though, right up against the boards. The officials want it moved. They've got to play it. Sakic trying to push it up the near side. Couldn't go very far. Hayduk reached in between the skates. Got it back to Tanguay. On top, it gets away from Brian Muir at center. Knocked away by Draper. Draper just moves. Keep your feet moving. If anybody's ever done that in this game or in football any better, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he cheats. His skates aren't touching the ice.
Man, he just grinds. He can just move, never stops, and builds up speed in a heartbeat. Sent in off the stick as the Avs want to change it up again. Devereaux got it out of the zone. Takedown by Forsberg. They still control. Datsuk in the middle. Ryan Prett with the interception. Game opens up again. This game has done this a couple of times. Ryan Prett splits. Shot. Couldn't get it. Tied up in front. It hit a stick in the centering pass. Score! DeVries! Greg DeVries! And a 3-2 Colorado lead.
Well, here comes another role player into the mix. A guy that has elevated his game in the playoffs for the Colorado Avs, Greg DeVries. Man, what a play he made by jumping up on this one. Scotty Bowman committed to going with two rookie centers. This time Pavel Datsuk was on the ice. Good play by Steve Reinprecht here. Took it wide and he was getting squeezed by a couple of guys, but he still got through. Look at this. Then he fanned on the first one, but stayed with it. Stayed with it, and was finally able to make a play. What a shift for Steven Reinprecht, and all DeVries had to do was one time it to the far side. Hasek had no chance.
8 goals during the regular season for Greg DeVries. He puts the Colorado Avalanche on top for the 3rd time now in this game. 1-0, 2-1, and now 3-2. Both checked away, but not out. Antoneau held it in. Comes around the near side. Duchesne stepped up. Heinold had it. Heinold will try again. Gloved it off Duchesne. Got it back himself. Cleared the zone. Knocked away by Rico Hall. And finally taken back by Fedorov. The goal at 5:20. DeVries, first of this series, 4th of the playoffs. Reinprecht picks up the assist on it. And the Avalanche are on top yet one more time.
And unlike the 3rd period of Game 1, where the Red Wings came out and in a minute and 18 seconds just ripped the game away from Colorado, this team has flexed its offensive muscles, but now it's time for Colorado to show the world that they can hold a lead.
Play some D. Played back. Foot from Blake. And a reach back for it. Got it up to Messier. Messier in. Yell heading to the net. Messier room. Pass for Yell. Blocked by Fisher. Yzerman far side. He'll come with Shanahan. Shanahan with the puck. Shanahan for Yzerman. Yzerman and Williams on the near side open, but he got knocked down. Fisher steps up back to Yzerman. Yzerman. Blake again jams him into the wall. Robitaille back up on top. Chelios with it. Chelios' shot blocked into the corner. Penalty coming up. Delayed call. Yzerman on the ice again. Blake and he have been battling, and the penalty is going to be called on the Avs.
What a battle. Rob Blake and Steve Yzerman just wouldn't let one another go. Teammates for Team Canada winning gold at the Olympics. That's long forgotten. The goal by Greg DeVries on a super pass from Steven Reinprecht. And the Avs had the lead by 1. More role players emerging, this time for Colorado.
There, that's a holding call at 7:02. 4th power play opportunity for Detroit. They've not scored in this game. All the penalties picked up by defensemen. in this game so far. Greg DeVries clears it around. Held in Detroit. That took a Detroit back shot wide by Yzerman. He broke his stick.
That's why it went over the net. I thought it had just flipped up on him.
Yzerman went back to the bench, got the stick, stays out. Adam Foote moves it in. Detroit has picked up a shorthanded goal in this game. Now they've got a chance in the power play to tie this thing up again. The Red Wings will dump it in, wrong side of the red line. DeVries up for the touch and got there in time for the icing call.
That's it, boys.
Ian Holmstrom.
A little facial added in there. Free of charge, of course. The facials are free in this series for both sides. Greg DeVries right there touching up and then with the facial on Holmstrom. Well, it smells bad, but it doesn't smell as bad as an octopus. And talking to the guys this morning, even when an octopus is picked up on the ice here, some of the guys have said that you skate through just a cloud of stench after it's gone. Big battle earlier, Kasparaitis and Holmstrom.
Kasparaitis already been to the box a couple of times, so he had his arms out in prayer. Not me, not me, not me. Power play underway here. Foote drops it in. Detroit's got the advantage in the 5-on-4. Fedorov will start from deep in his own end. They had the second best power play during the regular season with the best numbers at home when they had the advantage.
Gary, you notice that Patrick Roy staying in his net more, even on those hard rims. He hasn't really come out of his net that much in this game, even before he came out on the play that cost him.
Made one big bad decision there, and that will hold him in a little bit, especially with his team on top now. And down a man in this situation. Yzerman out on the power play. He and Foote again collide. Fedorov coming in to help. Adam Foote trying to dig it out. Did. Lidstrom will hold it in at the point. Lidstrom back on the near side. Fedorov. Fedorov with Holmstrom in front of the net. Lidstrom. They don't give him a chance to shoot. Shanahan a shot. Missed it wide side. 6 shots through 2 periods for Brendan Shanahan. Lidstrom back to get it. Circles in behind the net. Both teams changing up on their specialty teams. Datsuk, Hall. Hall guns it around. Robitaille over there on the far side as well. Chelios at a point now. Hull wanted that one-timer just a little too close. Shot deflected off the defenseman's stick. DeVries wide from Robitaille's chance in the middle. This is Duchesne. Hull. Hull with 3 power play goals. Pass deflected. They'll Blake Highnote. Highnote coming with Messier. Messier. Hull trying to get back. In. Shot. Save made. Puck loose. Duchesne picks it up. Power play still underway for 3 seconds. Robitaille drops it. Datsuk has room. Datsuk in. Shot. Blocked. Datsuk left it. Shot. Oh, that got blocked over the head of Patrick Roy. Hull was trailing, and there it came. Power play is over, and not a shot on goal during that power play for Detroit.
But some great chances, only equaled by some super blocks. I mean, everybody willing to sacrifice.
Hull had the last chance, and he'll send this one in onside, and they will change it up. So the Red Wings power play not working for them here in tonight's game as they had the 0 for 4 so far. They have compensated with a short-handed goal. The flip down the left wing side. Olsson got it away from Sakic. Sakic puts the hit on from behind. Lidstrom comes away with the puck. Near side, Maltby. Maltby, who has the short-handed, got it up ice. Blake flipped it out. Sakic with it. Sakic, Tanguay, Hayduk. Far side. And it's dumped in onside by Tanguay, and they'll leave the ice. Lidstrom. Quick up ice for Draper. Knocked away by Blake. Maltby had it, lost it. Forsberg knocked it down. Forsberg. McCarty tied him up. Back behind the net is Olsson. Forsberg on. And at center, it'll be turned over again. Knocked away in the zone. Again, the grind line. Maltby taken down. Shot wide. Waugh got run into a little bit. DeVries helped to hold him off.
You're going to sit, go. Take Maltby. Take the block.
Boy, that sounds like Steve Walken is calling a penalty. Saying, you're going to sit, you're going to sit. And the man he was pointing at was Kirk Maltby.
Penalty, Detroit, 2 minutes, roughing. Get in the box.
And it was against Maltby, but going after the goaltender. The Colorado Avalanche with a 3-2 lead and 9:35 to go in the third period get the 10th power play of this series. They are 3-4-9 so far in the series, including one tonight. Hasek only got a little bit of that one. Held in by Drury. Drury trying to center at it block. Good play. Lidstrom will block that. 2-on-2 the other way, short-handed is Yzerman. Sakic on him. Knocked away by Waugh. Yzerman again controls. Yzerman spun around. 2 Avs there, and he's still got the puck. And finally, Tanguay will play it off the wall to Forsberg. Forsberg will be out there on this power play. See what the Avalanche have done. Only 1 power play goal for Detroit so far, and a shorthanded goal tonight. And the Avs will have to change here. That one all the way back.
You know, one of the differences in these two teams is Colorado uses role players to kill penalties. Messier, Mike Keane, Eric, and Dan Hinote. The Detroit Red Wings will play Fedorov, Yzerman, Hull, Shanahan. So they're always a threat to score, but interestingly enough, Maltby's the guy that got their shorthander tonight.
Adam Foote could not hold that one in. Waugh's got to come back with 54 seconds left to go on it. That'll bring Marty Skula back to play it. Skula starts it up ice. Hinote is out on the power play unit with Hayduk. Adam Foote at a point, trying to get it into the zone over there. Can't. Ryan Prett was right in front of him. He couldn't get by him. Near side to Lidstrom. The Avs, nothing set up so far in this opportunity. Short-handed again. Shanahan looking wide side. Waiting. Cleared on the ice. Shot save made by Waugh. Another short-handed chance and a penalty coming. Interference on Foote. It'll cost the Avalanche 25 seconds worth of power play time.
Well, Brendan Shanahan's helmet ended up lying on the ice. Steve Reinprecht headed to the box.
4-on-4 for 25 seconds. Brian Engblom.
Gary, 4-on-4 means there's more ice space out there rather for guys like Sergei Fedorov. Bill, you mentioned earlier the fact that he's so tough to cover when he goes east to west. Earlier in the game, look what he did here by driving back the Colorado defense and dishing it off to Stevie Yzerman. Look at the penetration there, how far back Rob Blake is. He tries to get to Stevie Yzerman. Yzerman uses that screen so well and gets it over. If they can pull off stuff like this going east-west on this 4-on-4, they can get themselves back in the game.
Yep, you get the Jets going north-south, and that backs everybody off. Then when you go east-west, the coverage is impossible.
Chance from the point. Olsen, a save made. And they had McCarty down low. Darren McCarty doing some battling in front of Patrick Waugh. And a little discussion with Kasperitis right there. The penalty was picked up by Ryan Prett for interference at 15:56. So we got 4-on-4, 18 seconds, and then there'll be a power play coming for the Detroit Red Wings. Darren McCarty, the hat-trick man of the last game, will head to the bench. Face-off again is going to come to the left side of Patrick Waugh. The face-offs here in this game have decidedly gone to the Detroit Red Wings. 63% through the first 2 periods, led by Jason Williams and Sergei Fedorov in the draw.
All 6 guys that took face-offs through 2 periods for Detroit, above 50%. Of the 6 guys for Colorado that took them, nobody over 50%.
And this one will be won by Sakic against Yzerman. We're still 4-on-4 here. Detroit wants to get possession, obviously, to get as much power play time in the zone as they can. Hayduk moved it up. Sakic cutting to the net. Pass to him. Sakic got it after Hasek had reached out to him. Rob Blake. Blake trying to use the muscle. Beaming off Dandino. Blake lost it. Played back far side. Power play underway now for the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings power play number 5. Each team with 5 in the game. They've got 1:20 left on it as they try and get it into the zone. Do not there. Fedorov back to get it again. Steve Yzerman. Yzerman circling in his own end. Fedorov drops it back to him. Shanahan will pick it up instead, but they're forced to go deep. Lidstrom, good play by Keane.
Well, a great job by Stefan Yell and Mike Keane to disrupt the flow on this up-ice attempt here. Phase 1 of the power play is the setup, and Detroit hasn't come close yet.
Mike Keane, one of the all-time great penalty killers, playing in his 205th career playoff game. Robitaille, it's cleared around. Now they'll get it set up. Lidstrom, 46 on the Detroit power play. Colorado has the 1-goal lead. They set Robitaille in front. Yzerman over to Shanahan. Hinote moved in. Shanahan looking. Robitaille's in the high slot. No muscle in front. Shot wide. Rebound up. Goal score from the point. It is not Patrick Waugh's night again.
No. And Nick Lidstrom will take this, but this certainly isn't what he had in mind. But Patrick Waugh had a monster come off the backboards and bounce in off his skate. Mike Keane forced this shot wide. I think Lidstrom was hoping for a deflection. But for some reason, Patrick Waugh kicked out at this. Watch. He kicked out. If he stays where he is, he's okay. Watch this. When he kicked out, he actually jabbed it in his own net. If he stays where he is okay. He can't believe what he has done.
It is a power play goal by Nick Lidstrom, and it is a 3-3 game with 6:30 to go. Maltby out, shot wide. He's got to settle down. Just ripped wide by McCarty, who almost got himself another game winner. On the near side boards, Fisher trying to hold it in. Nick Lidstrom picks up the goal to tie this game up off the power play, and that's going to be whistled on the offside call. And Patrick Waugh, very few times can you say a goaltender is directly responsible for a goal in a game. He is responsible for 2 of them. And that is so not Patrick Waugh.
Especially not after a loss where he's allowed 5. Split-second decisions. We've said it before. That's what this game is made of. Just a series of thousands of split-second decisions.
Detroit now with 30 shots in the game, 30-19, and right after that goal, McCarty had a chance and then got wiped out.
Boy, did he ever. Peter Forsberg looked like he went for his leg. Nobody saw it. Otherwise, Colorado could have been back in the sin bin again.
So we go with 6:09 left. Cleared in. See if Sakic and Forsberg end up together now. That's what Bob Hartley has done late in games where they've trailed. See if he does it late in a game where they're tied. That was stopped by Yzerman. Back for Sakic. Sakic will take it back in behind the net. Tanguay's with him. Pass for Tanguay got blocked up the near side boards. Yzerman reached for it and knocked it away. Good play by Lidstrom, who initially blocked it. 13:25. Lidstrom gets his first of the series, 4th of the playoffs. Shanahan and Yzerman pick up assists on that power play goal.
And now the number of leads that Colorado has lost in this series is incredibly up to 5.
They have not trailed in this game. They have led 3 different times. But it's 3-3 right now. Datsuk knocked it behind the net. Played around by Dominic Hasek. Hull trying to push it up the wall. Messier over there to help block it. Messier, Kasparaitis helped dig the puck out for the Avs behind the net. Look at Hasek hold off Kasparaitis. Put his left arm up there to drive him away. Back checking was Yell. Datsuk's got to take it back to center as Hull had it knocked away by Stefan Yell. Brought back in by Duchesne from the red. Sends it in on the wraparound chance. Over to get it is Drury. Drury trying to clear it out of there. Did not. They'll take it back deep. Near side, Skula's got it. Skula pinned up by Draper. Sent it deeper. Back to get it. Redwings off the wall at center. As making sure they're back. Draper sends it into the corner. Maltby over there. Maltby is overskated by Brian Muir. Lost control of down low by Blake. Picked back up behind the net by Drury. Blake comes in, and what a shot. Oh my gosh, what a check put on by Rob Blake. The play continues up ice as McCarty's getting up just now. Into the middle. Hasek reaching. Another leveling shot by Fisher on Reinfeldt. McCarty's up and skating at center ice now, and he stayed out there after that shot put on by Blake.
You know what? That just tells you that the non-call may have been the right one.
Wow, he did. He got up moved. Here's Sakic, a little run wide open right now. In the middle, the drawback. No good on the attempt by Tanguay to take it through the D. Furious action with 3:46 left to go.
And 18,000 furious people.
Are they ever? Down the middle, Tanguay's open. Tanguay shot saved by Hasek. And he'll cover this up with Hayduk moving.
Oh, man. The pace has picked up just a tad. And so is the hitting. Rob Blake on Darren McCarty. Luckily for Darren McCarty, he's okay.
The draw against Chris Drury as this Detroit crowd hopping. With the game tied at 3. Detroit won the first game 5-3. They have not had a lead in this game. They won't care if they can get one right now. Blake That hit him hard as he blocked it. Intercepted down low. Fedorov centered. Shot wide of the net. Shanahan, who looked up to the heavens after that one missed. He didn't get it on net. From center, Drury and Reinpret. Fedorov had it. Lost it. Swept into the corner by Reinpret. Now far side boards where Chelios will chase it down. 30-20. Detroit with the advantage in shots. No advantage in the scoring department. 2:54 and clock running here in the third. Big pressure put on. Messier dumps it in. Dominic Hasek in behind the net. Detroit up from McCarty. Didn't touch it. Yes, he did. They wave off the icing. It's going to be played. Adam Foote looks to see that. Takes it. Clears it off the glass. Got it up for Heinold to center. There, Nick Lidstrom and Heinold will do battle. Lidstrom able to get a stick on it. Drive it deeper into the zone. High flip. Adam Foote. Foote. Albee was moving in on him. Both teams changing. Cleared back. Lidstrom again knocks it away. Cleared out by Paulson. Avalanche were changing. They got to play this as well. Skula dropped it off to Tanguay. Tanguay, Hayduk, and Sakic back on the ice. Here's Sakic. Crisscrossing. Poke checked away. Reached in. Hayduk could not get it. Near side. Fedorov would have been offside. They've got to handle it back. Fedorov still deep in the zone here. Fedorov gets back out. Pucks up against the wall, and there it will be whistled with 1:52 left to go in regulation. This kind of action yesterday, it was Toronto, Carolina. They will go at it again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Series moves to Toronto tied at 1 game apiece. Exclusive coverage is here on ESPN at 7 tomorrow. Well, a couple of milestones reached in this game. Nick Lidstrom is the 10th defenseman, 69th player to have 100 playoff points. And Steve Yzerman is the 100th playoff assist. He's the 17th to get to that mark. And we'll get a timeout with 1:52 left to go here. The Detroit Redwings will use their 32nd timeout. 1:52 remaining on the clock here in game 2.
And Scotty Bowman is talking. It's not as if he's just called a timeout completely for people to rest. Now he's backed up, but he had something to say to everybody down to the right of the bench. Obviously, the Detroit Red Wings want to take a shot at ending this thing right now. Forget about overtime.
216 playoff wins for Scotty Bowman. Brian England downstairs. Brian.
Patrick Waugh's reputation and accomplishments are built on technique and composure. And guys, you touched on it after that last goal. Some strange things are happening. In game 1, this one came off the end wall. Patrick ended up facing the wrong way, and Thomas Holmstrom scored. This one tonight was even wackier. With guys converging on him, he stuffs his leg backwards and scored on his own net. Normally, he is the picture of composure and positioning at all times. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but it happens even to the best of them, obviously.
Happening to Patrick Waugh here tonight. Face-off from center will be won by Detroit. Lidstrom, long shot from center on net. Waugh knocked that away to Adam Foote. Foote cleared it up, not out of the zone. Albee dumps it in behind the net again. Foote will try it the same way. Result this time to center. Avalanche, Sakic, falling down as he tried to reach back for it. Near side, Reinpret ran into Maltby. Forsberg knocked away. Foote's going to come back at center to get it. Back to DeVries. Greg DeVries will dump that one in. Quick change for the Avs. Hasek cleared it around the far side. Detroit changed up as well. They got Yzerman back. Fedorov in the middle. Sergei Fedorov around one defenseman. Kasparaitis shuts him off. Fedorov looking to the other wing. It rolled away to center instead. Good job that time by Kasparaitis. Took him all the way back to the blue line. That'll go up along the near side dasher. A minute left to go in regulation. Blake putting the hit. Shanahan the puck shot and a save off the blocker. That had enough of an angle that had gone by on that short side to be a game winner.
There looked like there was daylight there, didn't there?
Wow. But Patrick Waugh, that post held on the near side. 42 seconds left to go in regulation. Yzerman stays out. Yzerman sends it in. And Waugh hesitated on that, dropped it off. Messier clears it out. Draper coming back. 30 seconds remaining here in the third period. Yuri Fisher, the young defenseman, sends the high flip up, knocked down, third back out. Foote. Off the wall, Mike Keane. Hull was there with him to knock it back into the zone. Foote goes wide side to Breeze. 13 to go. Blue line chance to Breeze. Blocked on net. Dominic Hasek, back for Fisher. 6 seconds left to go in regulation. Near side for Hull. Hull wanted that one blast, couldn't get it though, and we're going to go to overtime.
Boy, what a wacky night for Patrick Waugh. Fortunately for the Avs, they've been able to get 3 by the Red Wings goalie Dominic Hasek. Otherwise, this game would be over. But it's been a wacky night for Patrick Waugh. So many unexpected scorers already in this series, and some unexpected types of goals being scored.
Our Dodge intermission report coming up. Then we'll be back for a 4th period. 3-3. John and Barry.
All right, guys, we expect you to be wearing those wigs when you come back as well. Patrick Waugh,
wearing wigs?
Patrick Waugh might want to wear one in the locker room because clearly he has not been himself in this game. And he's such a dominating player. It's got to be difficult on the other team to even go into the locker room and say, Patrick, you know.
Joe Louis, 1937 to 1949, reigned as heavyweight champion. Put people away with solid rights, as he did there. That can happen here. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Gary, I've always wanted to do that.
You're getting tired. You're getting
You got
tired.
a short punch, you know?
Oh,
short.
yeah.
But I'm left-handed, see, so
I'm out of the way. Go
I
ahead.
wouldn't have had a chance against Joe. Wouldn't matter if you were in the way. You wouldn't feel it anyway. All right, who gets the game-winning goal?
Well, we've already got our pool working up here. I do think that both of these teams, obviously, they've got a lot of firepower. They want to be solid defensively, but they're not going to sit back. I mean, I said this before, and I remember in 1996, I said, you know what, I think this game is going to end quickly, and 4 overtimes later, Colorado won a Stanley Cup against Florida, but both of these teams will go at it. And the reason we're going to overtime is miscues, mistakes by Patrick Waugh. This one in the 2nd period, a shorthanded goal by Kurt Maltby, again brought the Red Wings from behind. Then on a power play, a wide shot by Nick Lidstrom. Patrick Waugh kicked it into his own net. Again, the Red Wings came from behind to tie the score. Our Southwest Airlines goal cam showed the disappointment from Patrick Waugh, and we're going into overtime. And the big challenge for everybody is just to forget everything that's happened in the last 2 or 3 periods and play for it. But with the firepower and a good sheet of ice, they're going to go.
The overtimes this year, this is the 12th in the playoffs. Colorado's gone 1-1. Detroit is 0-1. Colorado had the 2-1 win against San Jose, and they lost to Los Angeles 1-0. Detroit in the Vancouver series had a 4-3 loss. So we're in overtime. Next goal wins. Detroit wins it. They're up 2-0 in the series. Colorado wins it, and it's even going back to Denver. Draper a chance. Wow, struggled with that a little bit, and look at the takedown on the far side. Oh, my.
Boy,
Adam Foote just joined the WWF.
That's the only word to describe it, takedown. I have to think Darren McCarty might have been hanging on to part of Adam Foote, though, because he just looked like he was glued to him, and he slammed him. Body slammed him. McCarty dished and then went for the net. And then he just got body slammed. Was that? Boy, after game 1 hat trick, Darren McCarty has been crushed into the boards once in this game and then body slammed by Adam Foote.
No penalty on that. Face-off will come to the left of Waugh. Steve Yzerman moving in to take the draw. Scotty Bowman, a little mind game again. Steve Yzerman's played 22-25 through the first 3 periods. And he's out there against Joe Sakic. Yzerman, face-off, 7 out of 14, wins another shot. That deflected off Tanguay to the far side boards. Tanguay's on the near side, will crisscross here at center. Here's shot. Hayduke going to save, and Hasek was a little off balance. Centering pass intercepted, and Fedorov will move it out for Detroit. Steve Yzerman. Yzerman the flip, blocked. Sakic cycles back in his own end. Joe Sakic settles down a little bit after the usual furious first shift in an overtime.
Now we'll see which coach is willing to use his bench. Remember, Jason Williams has not played a lot in this hockey game, and neither has Pavel Datsyuk. Datsyuk has only played 9 minutes for Detroit.
That's DeBree putting the hit on that freed the puck up. Yell hit by Fedorov, came back into the middle. Adam Foote swung his man around, and it's back to center. Detroit way offside. There's the whistle, and a face-off at center ice.
Well, each of these teams has 2 or 3 players that can get it done by himself if he decides to make an end-to-end rush. Milan Hayduke is one of them. Dominic Hasek gave him tons of room on the short side, but Dominic Hasek's got a ton of confidence in his blocker. So he might have looked shaky on the play, but I don't think it really tested him. Get Milan Hajduk 2 strides closer than that, though, and he can put it anywhere. One of the underrated great wrist shots in our game.
Baseball tonight coming up after our overtime here. Face-off one back to DeFries. Played by Adam Foote. Put up for Yell. Yell will get cut off. Good play by Dandino. Matthew Dandino stepped in. Greg DeFries back to get it. Yell chipped it in. Shane got it back out of there. Then it was brought in by Mike Keane on the offside. So for Colorado, it has been Tanguay, Forsberg, and DeFries. Detroit, Devereaux, Maltby, and Lidstrom.
Colorado coming immediately with a 4-line rotation, and their 4th line coming out. Dan Hynode, Riku Hall, and Brad Larson. Scotty Bowman is countering with Brett Hull, Sergei Fedorov, and Luc Robitaille. It's a tall order for this 4th line for Colorado, so some coaching right here by Scotty Bowman, trying to get some power out against the 4th line from the Avalanche.
Face-off outside the Detroit line. Brett Hull leads Detroit players in game winners. Playoff overtime, he's had 3. Joe Sakic has had 4 for Colorado. And off the face-off, high note, Colorado will answer with an immediate line change here.
Riku Hall went off, and here came Drury.
Down the middle, backhand chance, wide of the net. That was Drury. In the corner, Forsberg, Robitaille do battle. Fedorov got the puck. Ryan Prent knocked it down. Ryan Prent a chance. Save made, and Hasek calls the rebound back.
Smart play by Bob Hartley to make sure that he countered immediately and didn't hang his 4th line out there to dry. I mean, when you got Fedorov and Brett Hull out there with Luc Robitaille, and you got Riku Hall and Brad Larson, that's not fair to do to your athletes, for one thing. Chris Drury came out immediately, took the puck, and made a mad dash for the net. Great reach by Matthew Dandino, though, forced the shot wide.
Chris Drury has had 9 game-winning goals in the playoffs in his young career. He almost became the goal.
Big game player. I've used that term to describe Chris Drury before. 3 of 5 playoff goals against Detroit have been game winners.
Face off to the left side of Dominik Hasek. Hasek in overtimes in the playoffs, 11 wins and 9 losses. Patrick Roy, 38 and 15 in playoff overtime games. Knocked away by Peter Forsberg. Got it back, 3 back for Detroit, though. Down the middle, Drury again waits. Drury tried to center, fanned on it, got it back in the middle of Forsberg. Forsberg, forehand side, shot, the save made. Forsberg after the rebound, Drury scores! Put another one on! Chris Drury has done it again. Another game-winning goal, and a fight breaks out in the corner. After the goal was scored, they got into it in the corner, and you know Kasparaitis was going to be involved.
I think, is that Chris Chelios? Yep. You had to figure Chris Chelios might be there. But they'll get this finished up here. What a move by Chris Drury. What a fantastic move. The guy's got no nerves at all. Ice water running through his veins with the move that he made on Dominik Hasek. Gracious me. And Forsberg made a superb move before that. Look at Forsberg's move between the skates. Then he circled back. No problem. Took the shot. Fought his way for a rebound. Chris Drury. How do you not just slam that into the goalie's pads there? Chris Drury's got his stick up saying, come on, baby, let me have it. And, hadn't even seen that move that he made on Yuri Fisher. Just fantastic clutch play by Chris Drury. But should we expect any less from this man?
He had not had a goal in the last 7 games. He gets one here to end that drought. Forsberg goes 1 and 2. Tanguay, DeFries, and Drury pick up a goal each. 10 of his 25 playoff goals have now been game winners for Chris Drury.
Peter Forsberg was magnificent on this play as well. Steve Reinprecht with a nice little dish, so that goal will read. Drury from Reinprecht and Forsberg. Well, I can't help but laugh at that goal. It was so beautiful and such a clutch play by Chris Drury. I mean, that is the kind of effort, besides just the scrum ugly type goals. The great individual efforts where you show no nerves is what wins overtime games, and Chris Drury is one of the best ever, and he's still a young player.
And there's your final. The Avalanche win it by a score of 4-3 at 2:17 of the overtime. Drury picking up his 4th of the playoff year, 1st of this series, and the Avalanche have evened this up. NHL tonight, 12:30 on ESPN2, ESPN tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Carolina, Toronto, exclusive coverage of Game 3. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Baseball tonight is coming up next. The game winner, Drury from Rhinepret and Forsberg. And this series is now 1-1. The Detroit Red Wings on the road now here at Colorado's home with this series tied at 1-1. It'll be another sellout crowd. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and Brian Engblom. A lot of people talking, Bill, about the things that haven't happened yet. One thing that has happened, Peter Forsberg. He has been magnificent, playing the way the Avs needed it, better than most people thought.
Well, I think a plus for